street in a neighborhood.
Exactly.
The largest newspaper in New Hampshire, what could be the most important election state in America in early January, officially endorsing Newt Gingrich for the Republican nomination. New Hampshire's Union Leader throwing its weight behind the former Speaker of the House from Georgia, passing on the former governor of neighboring Massachusetts, Mitt Romney. Joe McQuaid's publisher of the newspaper, and he wrote the endorsement. And Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Bill.
Why Newt?
We think he's head of the class. We think he has showed that through the years. We think he did well back in the 90s, bringing the Republicans to power, and we think he's the innovative guy. I don't think just changing out Obama next year is going to do it. New Hampshire is really in a pivotal position. New
Hampshire is, and so too is the rest of the country, but I know your newspaper specifically is publishing for the folks there in your state. Did you meet with Gingrich one-on-one or as with the group on your editorial board?
We don't have an editorial board. We're kind of different in a lot of ways, and that's one. There are two people there who write the editorials and call the shots. That's myself and Drew Klein, my editorial writer. We've met many times with Gingrich. We met with all of the candidates this summer and fall. Most of them were taped by C-SPAN and are probably still on there. And Gingrich is as good as it gets. He's feisty in the interview. He argues with you, which is good. You want somebody who's going to say what he thinks, not what he thinks you want him to say.
Yeah, you know Mitt Romney quite well, based on his history in the neighboring state of Massachusetts, and you obviously sat down with him as well. Why not Mitt Romney?
We don't think he's got it. We think he's the managerial type, but he's sort of a blank slate and is going to go with the wins too much. And I think, and this is crazy, but so are we, that Gingrich is going to have a better time in the general election than Mitt Romney. I think it's going to be Obama's 99 versus the 1%, and Romney sort of represents the 1%.
The inference from what you wrote also seems to be a veiled shot at Mitt Romney, and you repeated that here just a moment ago. He tells us what he thinks we should hear. What do you mean by that? And was that directed at Romney?
Yeah, it was. It was very perceptive of you. The fact is that when he was governor of Massachusetts, that was in very much a liberal direction. And in 2008, he suddenly flipped switches and became a conservative, and he's on that switch now. He was attacking Gingrich in the last debate with the big A on Gingrich's forehead for saying amnesty, amnesty, which Gingrich wasn't doing, and in fact Romney had done in 2008.
Yeah, and you did not endorse Romney the last time around also. Here is also what you wrote about Gingrich. He is by no means the perfect candidate, but Republican primary voters too often make the mistake of preferring an unattainable idea to the best candidate who is actually running. In this incredibly important election, that candidate is Newt Gingrich. You also found so many remain unsure, only 40-some-odd days away from a primary, about who they will vote for. What does that tell you, Joe?
It's a volatile field. I think the primary creeps up on us every 4 years. The inside junkies have been talking about nothing else, but the average voter has got plenty to do. And I think this year, the way a lot of the national reporting has gone, and Fox being an exception, that it's all been on the fluff and not the substance. It's all been on,
on the trivial.
On the trivial,
and
somebody makes a mistake. Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your endorsement of the Fox News Channel. Joe McQuaid out of New Hampshire. We'll see you in January.